So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Generation Green wrap-up event. As I'm sure you all remember from earlier or from November, I'm Kane, and along with me is my co-MC Suha.
Good morning, everyone, and I'm sure all of you are very excited and eager to showcase the projects you've been pouring your hearts and souls into with the rest of the Halton community. And from what we've seen so far, they all seem incredible. We can't wait to hear more about them. But please make sure that all students have introduced themselves in the chat box by messaging your name and email privately to the Halton Environmental Network.
Now, before we begin, we'd like to acknowledge the land and territory upon which we gather today. As a community, we have the responsibility to honor, care for, and respect all the creation gives us to provide us with life. This includes the land, water, air, fire, animals, plants, and our ancestors. We acknowledge that the land upon which we meet for the Generation Green Youth Conference is on Treaty 22 of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. The Anishinaabe people have utilized this land for millennia, and we would like to acknowledge their direct descendants, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, as the rightful caretakers and title holders of this land, upon which we live, work, and conduct ourselves. We acknowledge our treaty relationship and responsibilities to both the land and these original peoples.
We also recognize that this land is rich in pre-contact history and customs, which includes the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee, and since European contact, has and continues to become homes for Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. It is in the spirit and the intent of the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement, whereby we will collectively care for and respect the land, water, animals, and each other in the interests of peace and friendship, and for the benefit of not only ourselves, but also our future descendants.
For those of you who are joining us for the first time today, welcome to Generation Green. Generation Green is a collective initiative for youth by youth, with the goal of engaging Halton students in climate action leadership and supporting them in their commitment to greenhouse gas emission reductions in order to drive change and action in their communities.
Generation Green is a project of the Halton Climate Collective, a group of organizations focused on collectively transforming the community of Halton into a low-carbon and climate-resilient community. The HCC youth stakeholders were instrumental in creating a vision for this program and helping it come to life. The youth stakeholders are also present on this call, and without their help and the help of countless others, this event would not be possible today.
We launched the Gen Green program in November at the Youth Unconference with 200 attendees ranging from grade 7 to 12. They spent the day engaging in a panel discussion and attending workshops led by climate leaders to learn and empower themselves on how to propel climate action in their communities. From there, the students have had the opportunity to plan and implement greenhouse gas reduction and mitigation efforts into their communities. That could mean their school, an extracurricular, or just in their neighborhood. It was really up to them on how they wanted to create actionable change.
With approximately 75 students, Gen Green has implemented almost 50 projects, mostly focused on greenhouse gas reductions through food, electricity, transportation, and waste. Today, at the wrap-up event, we are going to be reflecting on and celebrating all that we have achieved in the past 4 months.
It is our great pleasure to introduce MP of Oakville, North Burlington, MP Pam Damoff. MP Damoff would like to say a few words. Please take it away.
Hi, everybody. Had to unmute my computer there. I sure wish we were all meeting in person, but we're not. So, which is okay, because you know what? Technology allows us to do this and allows us to all gather together. And I too would like to acknowledge that we're gathered on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. And to all of you, I know you had really hoped to be there in person to present your projects. I'm super proud of my own youth council who participated in this, and I know they'll be presenting today. But anyway, to all of you, thank you for caring. Thank you for what you're doing for the environment. Stay calm during all of this. I know it's a very stressful time. Kids Help Phone is available if anybody does need to reach out. But you know what? I'm confident that we will get through this, and because we have such a kind, caring, and compassionate community, I know that we'll get through it together and support one another and come out of this even stronger than we were before. So take some time to enjoy your family, to enjoy some quiet time, read some books, figure out your next project and how you're going to save the world, because I have no doubt that you will do it. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, MP Dama, for your words and your continued support and engagement throughout Gen Green.
Now, before we get rolling, just one more reminder to introduce yourself in the chat box with your first name and your email through a private message to Halton Environmental Network. We're already stressing this as this is how we're taking attendance for the event, so it's vital that you do so, please. We're going to start off today with some presentations from some notable students who have achieved success with their projects and who will be sharing their experiences along the way with Gen Green. Unfortunately, we aren't able to have all of you present today, but we do want to make sure that all of your projects get showcased to the community and that all of you get the recognition that you sorely deserve. We will be highlighting all of your projects on our website, newsletter, and social media. We're also recording this Zoom call and we'll be posting the slides and recordings to our website for everyone to watch. We appreciate your understanding and your patience over this past week as we adjust to these dire circumstances.
After the presentations, we will conclude with prizes and honorariums for exceptional projects, so stay tuned for that. Before we get started though, just a few guidelines to keep in mind. Please remember to respect confidentiality, share learning, not stories, take care of yourself, physically and emotionally, share the air, be mindful of time. Those more comfortable with speaking up, please make room for others, and those who are more reluctant, your input is always welcome.
And remember to question ideas, not people. Please avoid attacking people's beliefs, religion, political affiliation, families, sexual orientations. Everyone should feel free to express themselves in the space. Call people in, not out, and be curious. Be open to others' opinions, assume good intentions, and promote trust in one another instead of attacking one another. And be willing to sit with discomfort. Positive discourse around conflict can often lead to resolution. And speak and listen from the heart. Speak your truth, listen respectfully, and avoid generalizations. You've done such an amazing job to be here today. Represent that.
I'd also like to remind everybody just to minimize background noise from multiple devices. We encourage you to go on mute when you're not talking during the online conference. And again, I'd like to remind you guys to introduce yourself in the chat box with your first name and email through a private message to the Halton Environmental Network. This will help us on our end with keeping track of who's here. If you guys need a quick reminder of how to do so, you can go to the chat box, which is somewhere on the bottom left or bottom right corner of your screen, and you can select the Halton Environmental Network and message them privately next to the little tube before you write your message. And also, if you have any questions throughout the day, feel free to raise your hand. You can do that by clicking on the participants, which is in the middle of the bottom of your screen, and it should be at the bottom of the list of the participants. You can raise your hand, and either Afreen, Alana, myself, or Kane will be able to message you privately and answer your question. Please also take this opportunity to share a pic of the online conference on social media with your friends, families, and followers, and don't forget to tag us on social media using #GenGreen.
Before Kane and Suha transferred over to myself, Alana, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
That's amazing. Good morning, everybody. My name is Dorian, and I am incredibly grateful to be your moderator today. A bit about me to start off. I'm a high school student with a wide variety of interests, including the environment, technology, business, entrepreneurship, and music. I'm one of the Halton Climate Collective youth stakeholders helping out to facilitate this event, and I was incredibly lucky to be a host for one of our workshops back in November for the Unconference. But that's enough about me. Let's get right to the panelists. The panel constructed for you today is made up of some amazing students, just like you, who put forth sustainability projects within their communities. In all of their presentations, you'll notice a common thread. They will all answer these questions that you can see on your screen right now, and I'll briefly read them out so that way those who don't have access to view can hear them. First question, please briefly introduce yourself and explain your project. why did you choose to tackle this problem? And what impact do you hope to have on our environment in the long run? Second question. Oh, sorry. I'll read them over a little bit. Did you run into any challenges throughout the project? And if so, how did you overcome them? What is the most important thing you've learned from this experience with Generation Green? And then the third question, what inspires you to take climate action? Why do you think it's important for youth, such as yourself, to take climate action, and how do you inspire others to do the same? 3 loaded questions, however, all of our presenters will answer all those 3 in detail. Even though it's only the panel that's presenting, all of your presentations that have been submitted will be featured on the Halton Climate Collective website, newsletter, and social media. You've all done great work, and you should be recognized for it. And without further ado, it's time to introduce our panelists. First, we have Isla and Shirley, 2 dedicated students who reduced their community's greenhouse gas emissions by targeting waste through a pen drive at their school. Isla and Shirley, please take it away.
My name is Isla.
And my name is Shirley.
And we are very excited to share a story about our Generation Green project. So we came up with the idea to hold a pen drive at our school. We collected used pens, markers, mechanical pencils, and highlighters between February 7th and 20th. And from there, all the writing utensils were brought to Staples and then sent to TerraCycle through the Staples recycling program. Then TerraCycle recycles the plastic and sells it to companies that use it to make everything from park benches to trash cans. Also, we organized a raffle with eco-friendly prizes to encourage student participation.
So, why the pen drive? We want to prevent waste from going to the landfill. We want our school to become more eco-friendly and raise awareness about waste. Also, pens are one of the most common items thrown out in school, so it will be easy for staff and students to participate. With these reasons combined, we decided to implement the pen drive.
We were inspired by several different things. First, the Staples recycling program, where anyone can bring used writing utensils to Staples and they will recycle them for you. We thought it would be amazing if we could bring this to our school. And we were also inspired by the Sheridan Zero Waste program, as Sheridan has a pen collection box set up on one of their campuses.
Here are some pictures of our pen drive. Our drive happened in the atrium at our school for 8 days, and this is a picture of us testing out the pens.
Our results were that we collected over 4,000 pens, about 1,300 from our school and 2,700 from another public school where we also collected pens. In total, we saved 24,000 grams of GHG emissions. To get that, we weighed the writing utensils we collected, and then we subtracted any CO2 that we emitted from transportation related to a project, such as driving to pick up prizes.
Our project continues. We collaborated with our school eco-council to continue making pen collection boxes, which we place around our school. We're going to check them once a month and bring them to Staples for recycling. We're also hoping to expand to other potential schools due to the successful results from another public school.
One of the biggest challenges we faced was how to get students to participate and how to spread the word so that they'd know about our pen drive.
We solved this problem by organizing a raffle and gave out 14 prizes from 5 eco-friendly companies. We advertised through announcements, social media, and posters, as you can see on the picture. We only made one poster to be more eco-friendly.
We learned a lot through our project. Through our calculations, we discovered that driving for 5 kilometers is equal to recycling about 200 pens. This was really surprising to us and has since encouraged us to walk or bike as much as we can instead of driving.
At first, we weren't expecting to have such a big impact. We were really surprised how a small project can make a huge impact on the environment. Through this project, we have become inspired to further participate in environmental initiatives and volunteer for more environmental organizations.
We are inspired to take part in climate action and to participate in environmental initiatives because the impact of climate change is disastrous and it's happening now. We want to be part of this fight for a safe future. And we also know that every small action counts, just like every single pen helped add up to the thousands. Also, youth have the potential to create change and have our voices heard if we choose to stand up for what we believe in. This photo here was when I attended the September Fridays for Future rally at the town of Oakville. It was really inspiring to see so many people choose to miss school and to raise their voices about climate action. And you can be part of that too.
So here are some ways we found to inspire others. First of all, we should inform others what climate change is, the impact of it, and what we can do. Raise awareness through social media, word of mouth, and etc. It's also very good to offer easy and simple things for people to do and help, just like our pen drive. And here is a quote that we found that we want to conclude our presentation. Earth is a fine place and worth fighting for, by Ernest Hemingway.
Oh, sorry, I think I muted myself. Yeah, best of luck with all your future environmental actions. I also decided to take on a personal project in my home and reduce my electricity consumption. So after the conference, I went to my family and asked, what can we do to be more eco-friendly and reduce our electricity around the house? So we decided to stop using a clothes dryer, which takes a lot of electricity. And we air dried our clothes for 100 days by hanging them up. And in total, we saved 37 hours of using this appliance. So we're really proud of that. We also decided to air dry our hair as much as possible and saved 8 hours of using this appliance. So just by making a small change and committing to reducing electricity, we help the environment by reducing GHG emissions, and we're also now much more aware of our electricity usage. Thank you.
Amazing work, Isla and Shirley. Your pen drive was stellar. You guys got the whole community involved, and that's exactly what we're looking for. And then Isla, your project at home, that was amazing determination. Thank you so much, both Isla and Shirley. You guys did great. Next up, we have Hannah and Jane. They worked together to reduce their community's GHG emissions by organizing a Carpool Bonanza, which encourages carpooling at their dance studio in order to reduce the overall distance driven by their fellow dancers. Hannah and Jane, take it away.
Hello, everyone. So our names are Hannah and Jane. So like Dorian explained, the Carpool Bonanza is a Generation Green project evolved around transportation and the positive effects of carpooling on the reduction of GHG emissions. So the goal was to see how impactful carpooling was if everyone at our dance studio carpooled once a week. So we basically asked some friends to get involved. We wanted to see who was interested. And then we sent out 2 surveys, one tracking normal greenhouse gas emissions, and then the second with everyone carpooling once a week. So we found that our total reduction in a year if 10 dancers carpooled was 145,000 grams of CO2, and that equates to 62.7 liters of fuel. Oh, next slide, Alana.
So why we chose to tackle this problem? We wanted to do a project evolving around something we hadn't experienced with because we haven't done many projects on transportation effects. we noticed that many dancers would drive to the studio without any other friends, so we thought that we could reduce their emissions.
Another reason contributing to why we wanted to tackle this problem was I'm currently in the process of learning a climate change related dance that features Greta Thunberg's speech for a year-end showcase. So this made my dance class ask a whole bunch of questions about climate change, and the topic really kept being brought up. So I thought it was a great way to, make people feel like they can have an impact and they can help our climate by this program. So it helped with that as well.
So the impact we hope to have are on the environment in the long run. So we hope to familiarize carpooling to our society and to make it a habit for everyone. And if everyone carpooled, we would seriously cut our emissions, and then we could all get our act together really and solve climate change, ensuring a future for all great things to come.
So we hope to bring Carpool Bonanza into our schools and our music community and just really spread the word about the issue, again, to familiarize carpooling to our society, to let people know that, hey, it's totally cool to carpool, and wow, like, it really helps, and the impact is super simple and it's super great.
So challenges we had and how we overcame them. So one of our challenges was we originally tried to have 20 dancers as participants for both surveys, but in the end, there wasn't an equal amount of the same dancers that submitted both surveys. So this made the data unequal, and it shifted our results.
So even though it's not perfect, we decided to take the first 10 dancers who submitted the survey and use that data, because not everyone submitted both surveys and it was just kind of crazy. So that was a simple way. We just took the data. And here are both our surveys were shown right there, and the links if you want to check those out, if you kind of want an idea of what to ask people.
So what was the most important thing we learned from Generation Green? So we learned no matter how big or small our actions are to fight climate change, everything can make a positive impact. And as youth, we are able to make a positive impact and change our future. So we also learned that it's actually pretty simple to start a project if you're passionate about what it is. And when given the correct tools and resources, you can run with it and create an even bigger, better project.
We also learned that there really is a community that is listening and that does care about youth and does want and value their opinions on the climate crisis. We always knew that, we're supported with HEN, and that's something really great about this organization, is that they are listening. And through the Halton Climate Collective and Generation Green, this is really an opportunity to bring kids together and really give them the tools to be able to fight the climate crisis. And it was just really great to know that this community really is supporting us, and there are adults that really do care.
So what inspires us to take climate action? So we know that climate action affects a lot of the population, and it affects both humans and animals. So we wanted to try and help people, and then thinking about future.
And future generations, really, I want to ensure there's a healthy world for my kids and, kids to come, because everyone deserves to have a clean, healthy world and not be impacted by climate change. Also, other youth and leaders around the world fighting climate change really inspire us. So Greta Thunberg, Jane Goodall, Katharine Hayhoe, and the list goes on. So we're really inspired by these people to keep fighting.
So why we think it's important for youth to take climate action. So climate action will affect our future the most out of everyone on this planet right now. We are the first generations to really feel the impact of climate change, and we are the last to do something about it.
Also, as youth, we really have that authentic voice to truly inspire change. I feel like in our society, we're valued as a little bit less sometimes because we don't have that age, we don't have that wisdom component when we come to the table. But when youth really fuel up and are inspired and passionate and angry, and we go attack problems, people are really taken aback, and it's like, whoa, these kids really are passionate, and these kids really want to do this. And that authentic voice really helps change things and helps our world. So ways I inspire others to do the same. And Jane, I've questioned the Prime Minister about what he does for his carbon footprint. I've talked to public officials. Really get in there with your politicians. Really, they are the ones to implement lots of changes around climate change. I've watched documentaries and read books to be more educated on climate change and to have a better understanding of the issue. When I find an injustice or something I really want to attack, because I feel that it's unfair, I create campaigns about different environmental problems. And that's a really great way of showing that I care and that I want to see change happen in our world. I've held events at my school, so EcoFest and Living Lab. I've been on panels, I've spoken at events, and I volunteer for organizations that I really value what they're trying to do and help in our world. So it's a great way to support these people who are on the same page as me. So my point is to just put yourself out there. And if you see an injustice in the world, just attack it. Find people who will support you and be there and just fuel your projects. And like Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world.
Thank you. We want to say a big thank you to Miss Mapp, our dance teacher, our dance friends, and the dancers' parents, and also Alana and Afreen from Hen. We feel really grateful to have the opportunity to be a part of Generation Green and to make a real difference.
Amazing work, Hannah and Jane. That's perfect. Your process, your impact, your words of wisdom are all exemplary, and we should all take that into account when we're trying to make a difference. When we're trying to, just like you're saying last time, Hannah, trying to be the change that we want to see in the world. Thank you so much. I do want to mention a couple things that have come up. If you have a question, please use the raise your hand function. It makes it a lot easier on our moderators when they're trying to moderate the chat and get the questions answered. So use the raise your hand function. That is the best way that we can get to your question. And one last time about attendance, send it privately. Send your name and email privately to the Halton Environmental Network using our chat function at the bottom right. Yep. So thank you so much. And if you have any questions, raise your hand and we'll help you out with that. So thank you so much, Hannah and Jane. Amazing work. Next up, we have Green Anatomy, a group of students who joined together to improve the meal delivery service at their school in order to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions from food and waste transportation. Green Anatomy, take it away.
Thank you so much. Hi, we're Green Anatomy. Today, we're going to talk to you about our project that we like to call Saving the Environment One Bite at a Time.
We are a group of grade 8 students called Green Anatomy that are working together to make the lunches at our school more environmentally friendly. We have all participated in the environmental club for numerous years, but this year we decided to branch off from that and start our own little group called Green Anatomy. Our names are John, William, Kate, and Jack. We hope you enjoy learning about our project.
Let's get going. What is our project? The company Lunchbox has been providing hamburgers from Harvey's to our school once a week for the past 5 months and for all of the 2018-2019 school year. When you order, you can either order a junior cheeseburger or a junior burger. These burgers produce about 0.126 pounds of methane and are harmful to our environment. Our solution is to find an alternative restaurant such as Freshie, where the menu they've provided us has many more vegetarian options. This will be much better towards our environment, and we hope we'll be able eventually not only at our school, but replace more harmful lunch programs and provide children with a much healthier alternative, which is also much more environmentally sustainable. Freshie is a much better option, not only because it has a lot of vegetarian options, but also because it has a much closer location to us, meaning that the transportation emissions from the car that would be bringing the food to us would produce much less GHG emissions from its drive. We will receive the food through Lunchbox.
So maybe you're wondering, what is Lunchbox? Lunchbox is an online program that partners with companies such as Freshie and Harvey's and other companies to provide lunch to schools. So the step-by-step is that you go online and create an account. Next, you select what school you attend. You choose the meal for that week. There's a lot of different options. And lastly, the food gets delivered to your school and you enjoy.
Why did we choose this project? We chose to focus on reducing the meat consumption at our school because we saw it emitted lots of GHG emissions. Here's a famous quote from Albert Einstein. Nothing will benefit health and increase the chances for survival of life on Earth as the evolution to a vegetarian diet.
Here's the math and how we calculated our GHG emissions along the way. Our school ordered a total of 76 beef patties per month. 56 of those were cheeseburgers, so 76 burgers and 56 slices of cheese. We calculated that for 5 deliveries, our emissions would be a total of 91.2 kilograms of GHG emissions for the burgers. For the 56 slices of cheese, it is 7,840 grams for CO2 emissions. So our carbon intensity. The carbon intensity for beef is 27 kilograms for CO2 equivalent, and for the cheese, it's 13.5 kilograms.
So for our food after, using the same math as the food before, we measured the items from Freshie. We measured the Fiesta wrap, the Fiesta salad, and the Mediterranean salad. The math comes in at 0.15 kilograms for the Fiesta salad, 0.2 kilograms for the Fiesta wrap, and 0.16 kilograms for the Mediterranean salad. For our carbon intensity, we found that for the Fiesta wrap, it is 4.9 kilograms. For the Fiesta, that was the Fiesta salad. For the Fiesta wrap, it is 2 kilograms. And for the Mediterranean salad, it is 2.1 kilograms.
So our baseline emissions for food is 2,568,240 grams of CO2 equivalent, and our program emissions was 1,471 grams of CO2 equivalent. Therefore, our impact in the food category would be 512,177 grams of CO2 equivalent per day.
So next, for our waste, our baseline was 13.7 grams of waste went into a landfill, and 0 waste went into recycling or compost. For our program, 6.9 grams went into a landfill, and 0 went into recycling or compost. So our impact is 1.2346,845 grams of CO2 equivalent per day.
After adding up the transportation, the food, and the waste, the impact of our program is equal to 512,827 grams of CO2 equivalent per day.
So there were a lot of problems along the way, but for in time case, we only chose to target the 3 biggest problems. The first problem that we faced was that we were temporarily unable to use Freshie as our lunchbox provider as it was not in our contract. Another problem that we had was learning how to do the calculations. No matter how helpful the book was, we just could not get the numbers right. The biggest issue of them all was the adverse strikes. Since we were off school for so many days, we were unable to get the food delivered to our school and have someone there to pick it up. And it was hard to meet because all extracurriculars were canceled.
So our solutions. For the first problem, with the help of our school administration, we were able to change our contract to get Freshie into it. Our second solution was we got in contact with Alana, who was able to further explain the algorithms, as well as we looked on the right pages in the book, in the conference toolkit, and learned how. Our final solution was we made a detailed plan of how we're going to implement our project after the strikes finish, and next year, and hopefully at camps in the summer.
So next year and later on this year, we have some next steps for where we would like to go with our project. So the first step that we have is that we unfortunately were not able to have our project happen. So that the day the strikes are over, we are going to go talk to the office and the admin team at our school and get our project up and running again. The second step is getting the food. We'll coordinate a time and date with Fleshy where they can drop the food off at our school for the kids to enjoy. The third step, what will happen to Green Anatomy next year once we leave our local public school? Next year, we plan to talk to younger students and try to get them to continue what we started. We also plan to extend this environmentally friendly lunches further than just at school. We would like to promote a vegan company that caters parties and summer camps that people can have that are more environmentally friendly.
Continuing to make a difference. We hope to have a long-lasting impact on the environment. This is because we know that our Earth is in danger, which is why our project is ongoing. We will continue to make a difference by implementing this program at our high school next year and finding other ways to reduce meat consumption, such as changing the lunch program at camps during the summer.
So why we were inspired to take climate action. We were inspired to help the Earth because we love our environment. We love the forests in our community. We love taking long walks around our school. We love everything our Earth has to offer. But it is dying. It's dying because us humans are killing it. We knew we would need to do something. So once we found out about the Gen Green conference, we thought this would be a great conference to attend to help us gain knowledge and save our Earth. It inspired us to take more climate action around our community because we feel it is necessary. Every small action counts. So we did our part this year and worked hard to significantly reduce the GHG emissions from our school lunch program.
Thank you to Generation Green, Alana Wong, and Lisa Colo, and everyone who made Generation Green popular, and Hen. You all get youth so involved in your climate action. Thank you so much for all the emails, webinars, the booklet, and help along the way. Everyone we have mentioned has been a huge help to the project, and it wouldn't have been possible without any of you. Thank you. Also, can you please follow us on Instagram at Green Anatomy? We post updates on our project, environmental quotes, and environmental posts.
In closing, we have made a difference in the GHG emissions that we are putting out in the environment from our school's lunches. With our project, we inspire others to change the environment by ordering vegetarian meals to eliminate the need of meat in schools. I'm sure that all of you have done the same with your amazing projects. Together we can save this earth, and I know we all will continue to make an impact. Thank you very much.
Amazing work, Green Anatomy. Even though you're all still students, you guys have not let your age stop you from making instrumental change within your schools. And that's perfect. That's exactly what we're hoping for. You guys are doing great, making change for the better, and I hope that your project goes even better than you expect when you come back to school once school's open again. Last but not least, we have Rory and Uzair, two truly excellent students who have partnered together to help make businesses more efficient. To make their impact, Rory and Uzair advise the businesses on how they can become more environmentally sustainable through a variety of methods, reducing greenhouse gas emissions through transportation, energy consumption, waste, and food choices. Rory and Uzair, take it away.
Thank you, Dorian.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that introduction, Dorian, and good morning, everyone. My name's Rory. My picture can be seen on the left there. I'm in my final year of high school, and I'm one of the co-founders of the Oakville Business Youth Initiative.
Hi, my name is Uzair, and I am a youth stakeholder at HCC, and I am a co-founder of Oakville Business Youth.
Climate change is scary. We recognize that we must act now. Uzair and I both have a keen interest in the study of business. Additionally, we both believe that all businesses can adopt corporate social responsibility strategies in order to become more climate friendly.
Therefore, we decided to do a project that would be centered around the idea where businesses take climate action and step up as successful examples of climate initiative that eventually we all must take.
Our mission is simple: to promote and encourage environmental stewardship by assisting local businesses to take climate action.
In order to assist businesses become environment friendly, we focused on 4 sectors that contribute towards carbon emission. We tried to promote sustainable produce, sustainable energy, sustainable cutlery, and waste management.
So what's next? Well, although this event might be coming to a close, Uzair and I see no end in sight yet. Our future plan is to expand the project so that any business, restaurant or not, across the province can reach out to us or our volunteers for guidance and support in becoming climate friendly.
Well, our future plans sound ambitious, but we think that our project has the ability to attract businesses from all across Ontario to take climate action through our assistance. We plan to have a website, an app, and a team who would be running the operations of Opal Business Youth.
Ultimately, the biggest challenge we've faced is convincing business owners and managers that climate and economic sustainability can coexist. Moreover, that being climate friendly will be economically efficient in the long run. Ample amounts of research and talking to more knowledgeable people in this field, like the opportunity that we got to speak to our mayor, helped us fundamentally in supporting this idea.
The second challenge for us was gaining trust of the businesses. If 2 youngsters visit a business and try to engage them in an agreed upon plan, things never go as expected. Being inexperienced, just high school students brought attention to our lack of credibility. However, this challenge was met with great help from Lisa and Ilana, who supported and encouraged us throughout our project. And here are some of the examples we introduced to businesses to become environment friendly. So yeah, over here. So we have some reusable containers, which one of the restaurants we're collaborating with, they have been storing their food in these containers instead of using containers that have to be changed every time. Then we have eco cleaning cloth for cleaning the tables. And then we have bamboo plates. For example, the restaurant we are working with, they have introduced bamboo plates on Saturday evenings where they get most of the customers. So the customers get an awareness that this restaurant is trying to work towards sustainable practices. And soon, when their other cutlery will be run out, they're not ordering the rest of them, the one they're using right now, they would fully use bamboo plates and forks and the rest of the cutlery that we have introduced to them.
On the topic of challenges, I don't think either Uzair or myself are going to forget the response that one business owner we pitched our idea to gave us. Without even lifting her eyes from her game of online solitaire, she barked at us to leave her store. It was just a symptom of distrust and a lack of belief in climate action. But moving forward, we made a simple, catchy plan that we could present right away to help businesses understand exactly what we were going to do with them. And that plan can be seen on this slide here.
So the first step towards this plan is that we consult and create an implementation plan. The second is that we go help them in integrating the plan. The last step is that they get the rewards of becoming a climate-friendly business, which in terms of monetary value, they would be gaining more profits and they would become more sustainable and cost-effective. So what did we learn? So the first thing that we learned was impossible becomes possible. Yes, the slogan is actually real, as we have witnessed how different sectors of the community, which include government, public, and the market, can collaborate and make sure alarming issues like climate change could be fought.
Young voices are louder than we think. Today, our voices are louder than ever. People like Greta Thunberg are leading the war on climate change before they've even reached the voting age.
The third thing that we've learned is we've inherited the climate crisis, and it is our responsibility to take climate action if we wish not to leave the planet Earth in a much worse condition than right now.
It is imperative that we must not sit back and complain about this responsibility. Rather, we should stand up and take action. Persistence is key. Most importantly, we gain valuable reinforcements for the age-old proverb. If at first you don't succeed, try again. We heard many no's from business owners, and even our partner restaurant that we worked with was reluctant to making certain changes. But ultimately, persistence was key in reaching the ultimate success of our initiative.
What inspired us? For some people, climate change is a far-left political propaganda. For some, it is a way for businesses like Tesla to make money. However, climate change speaks for itself. We are experiencing its drastic effects on our lives, which Rory will be talking about shortly. Having said that, I believe that youth is the most important and powerful force when it comes to fighting challenges. Whether it be revolutions, strikes, or social advocacy, youth always steps up as the leading figure. Thus, it is our youth's responsibility to take climate action as its own problem, not considering it the problem of corporations or politicians, let alone. I urge youth members to take action, whether it be as small as using a reusable cup, but please do take an action, as every action counts.
Today, climate change is quantifiable. We can see the disastrous impact. Let's take a look at some images. The fact is, there is hope. Despite a global pandemic and a provincial state of emergency with this COVID-19 virus, each and every one of you on this call today chose to get out of bed and put in the effort to attend this call. Each of you who completed a project or is going to didn't have to, you did it by choice because you cared. Take the upset you feel, the injustice you recognize about climate change. Take the unfair cards our generation has been dealt and stand up. Say something, do something. That's how we can ensure that our future generations will prosper. It is not too late. What inspires me is the fact that people are willing to stand up, volunteer their time, go against those who call them crazy or irrational. I truly hope that the efforts Uzair and I have made will inspire at least one of you to go out and do something. It doesn't have to be big, it could be small, but do something.
Here's our social media page. Don't forget to follow us and inspire others. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Amazing. Rory and Uzair, your experience is truly inspiring because it demonstrates that, yes, change is hard, but change is possible. Uzair, you had a very impactful quote a couple of days ago when we were speaking. You said that it's when impossible gets turned to possible, that's when things happen. And you guys have truly done that. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Okay, well, we are now at the end of our panel. I want to take this time to thank all of our panelists and the organizations who have aided in your projects. I hope that you keep making impacts for the better as time goes on. Next, we have what you've all been waiting for, the awards. Kane and Suha, take it away.
Thanks so much, Dorian, and thanks to all our panelists who showed those amazing presentations and their incredible projects. We really appreciate all the effort that you put into them, and we know that you're really representing the community that we need and know you can be. For everyone who successfully completed a project and submitted their report, they will receive a certificate of completion and volunteer hours. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you submit your report and your volunteer hour tracking sheet to Alana.
Award winners will also receive an additional award certificate and a cash prize, which will be mailed to the address provided in the Eventbrite registration. Each of the following awards will be given to one winner in grade 7 and 8, one in 9 and 10, and one in grades 11 and 12. The first place prize is worth $200, second place is $150, third place is $100, and honorable mention is $25, which everyone who has met the additional awards criteria will receive.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself there for a second. There's also a prize for most innovative at $100. This is awarded to the project that demonstrates the best use or development of a new, advanced, and original methods to reduce your community's greenhouse gas emissions.
The prize for most creative is worth $100, and it is awarded to the project that demonstrates the best use of imagination to brainstorm, plan, and execute an original idea that reduces your community's greenhouse gas emissions. The winning project should effectively educate community about their impact on the environment, inspire them to take climate action, engage participants, and make climate action fun.
And last but not least, there's also a prize for the most impactful, also at $100. And this is awarded to the project that has reduced or has the potential to reduce the largest amount of greenhouse gas emissions in the community. The winning project should have a big impact across a large range of influences, with factors including number of participants, geographical radius, and time frame. These projects were judged by an array of outstanding climate champions and experts, including Cindy Tarth, who is the chief judge and HEN board member, Amanda Kennedy, who is head of Kennedy Consulting and Communication, and also led the Communication Matters workshop. Amar Kumar, he's on the Citizens Climate Lobby and led the How to Lobby Politicians to Reduce GHG Emissions workshop at the Jane Greek Conference in November. There's Ashley Aurora, who led the 5 R's of Waste Management workshop. There's Dennis Ergen from the town of Oakville, and he also led How to Measure, Track, and Report Your Impact. There was Jen Stevens from Learning for a Sustainable Future, also led the Action Projects to Change the World workshop. Linda Sturgeoff, I apologize for not pronouncing that correctly, also a HEN volunteer, and Sam Garwin, Learning from a Sustainable Future, Action Projects to Change the World workshop facilitator as well, and then Suzanne Burwell, who's from the HDSB and an HCC leader.
Without further ado, here are your winners. In the grade 7 and 8 categories, in third place we have Green Anatomy. Kate, John, Jack, and Will, we just heard from them about their project which reduced their greenhouse gas emissions by switching their school's meal delivery to provide more vegetarian options. In second place, we have Claire and Alex. These students organized a walking school bus with 3 routes to encourage walking instead of driving to reduce carbon emissions, promote community, develop student confidence, independence, and encourage outdoor exercise. In first place, we have Ghazala. She reduced greenhouse gas emissions in 3 different ways among 3 different groups. She reduced the use of vehicles during weekends and after work among teachers at her school, reduced screen time among students of her class, and reduced the use of dishwasher, washing machine, and dryer at home. For most innovative, we have Razine. Razine created a website called Vegan Mondays to encourage people to go vegan, which will not only help reduce greenhouse gases, but it will also cause a social conscious way of eating. For most creative, we have Claire and Alex. And for biggest impact, we have Green Anatomy once again. Honorable mentions go to Emma L., Ava Z., Olivia B., Hadia S., Yusuf S., Josie A., Dara M., Julia K., Veronica S., Swayam P., Tisha M., Rita S., Hanyang W., Basant A., and Kareem A. Congratulations, everybody.
Now for the grade 9 and 10 prizes. At third place is Tanvi. For Tanvi's community initiative, he and his family reduced the greenhouse gas emissions by walking instead of driving wherever possible and decreasing their use of home appliances. Simple and effective. At second place, we have Chloe S. Chloe's initiative was a series of daily Instagram eco-challenges such as going vegan or reducing single-use plastics. Participants would submit a photo of themselves completing the challenge by tagging at the Green Challenge, and each completed challenge would earn an entry into the draw for an eco-friendly gift basket, which was generously donated by the store Eco Philosophy. And at first place, we have Hannah and Jane. We heard from them earlier about the Carpool Bonanza that they organized at their dance studio. For most innovative, we have Chloe S. For most creative, we have Chloe S. And for biggest impact, we have Hannah and Jane. Honorable mentions also include Olivia B, Shirley W, Isla O, Maya F, Annika F, Nina W, Bianca W, Jed P, Kevin D, Jemima I, Aishwarya P, Yanya R, Nawal J, and Daisy Z. Thank you so much to all of you.
In the grades 11 and 12 category, in third place we have Rory and Uzair. We heard from Rory and Uzair about Oakville Business Youth, their business which aims to advise local companies on how they can become more environmentally sustainable through driving less, choosing local food options, using energy more efficiently, and producing less waste. Second place, we have Vesa and Bashar. These students co-founded the company Zero, whose mission is to reduce the amount of single-use disposable items used in the restaurant industry by creating a mobile app and digital platform for renting out reusable items at restaurants. In first place, we have Laura L. Laura's initiative, Rethink the Trinket, aims to eliminate promotional plastic trinkets, specifically light-up toys sold at dances and fundraisers throughout the Halton District's elementary school board. Throughout extensive research and meetings with the school board, Laura is well on her way to helping school boards reduce a whopping 10 tons of carbon dioxide equivalents. For most innovative, we have Dorian. For his initiative, Ottoman and aquaponics. Dorian is working towards creating a transferable framework composed of sensors, a central server for data processing and information relay, and an app that will allow the user to monitor nutrient levels of water in aquaponics. In partnership with New Leaf CEA, which is an aquaponics company that serves a local community in Cambridge, Ontario with fresh produce, Dorian's solution would save money and time by making their business more efficient, thus being able to serve more people with local produce and lower carbon footprint of the customer through encouraging local produce. For most creative, we have Uzair and Rory once again, and biggest impact, Laura L. For honorable mentions, we have Alexia P, Andre A, Sarah G, Katie B, Luca S, Rehan R, Sarah A. Congratulations, everybody. Big congratulations to all of our winners. A reminder that prizes will be mailed to the address provided in the Eventbrite registration. If you did not register on Eventbrite, or if you would like your prize to be mailed to a different address, please email Alana. Also note, due to the current circumstances with the COVID-19 pandemic, there may be some delays in receiving your prizes and awards, but we will continue to keep you updated and will let you know when your prizes and awards are sent. We appreciate your patience.
Before our day comes to an end, we want to give you all some time to fill out a Menti survey, which we'd really appreciate any and all feedback so we can help make this program bigger and better for years to come. Please feel free to use the URL on the screen or scan the QR code. If you're having any issues, again, just raise your hand in the participant box and one of our youth stakeholders or Afreen or Alana should get back to you shortly.
Congratulations to all the winners. We're just going to give you guys a couple minutes to fill out the Mentee survey. It should only take about 2 minutes. But if anyone has any questions, this is also a good time to ask those while we're waiting for everyone to do the survey. So just a reminder, as Kane mentioned, If you do have a question, just raise your hand and somebody will get back to you.
Right, thanks everyone for filling out that survey. We really appreciate it. Before our day comes to an end, we really want to stress that no matter how big or small the number, what's important is that you all learn how your actions make a difference. We've all heard from many of you that you were shocked to find out about the amount of greenhouse gases you were emitting and by how easy it was to reduce this amount. At the end of the day, we hope that you're all able to learn something from your projects and that you have changed your habits in order to continue reducing your greenhouse gases in day-to-day lives.
The majority of your projects focused on reducing emissions through driving less, planting more trees, eating less meat, using less energy, and sending less waste to landfill. Even small actions in your everyday lives can have a huge impact. And remember, no number is too small. Every one of you reduced your greenhouse gas emissions in one way or another, and in total, 20,299,574 grams of CO2 equivalents reduced. That's 20.3 tons of carbon dioxide equivalents. The Halton Climate Collective is committed to providing you with guidance and support throughout the continuation of your community projects. Although some of your projects may officially be over, you are still welcome to contact Alana Wong or Freen Gauss at the contact information provided on the screen with any further questions, comments, or concerns. We also encourage you to follow us on Instagram at Halton Climate Collective and Twitter at Halton Climate, and visit our website, climatecollective.ca, to check out the other students' projects.
Many thanks to all our leaders of the Halton Climate Collective, the judges, and to the Halton Multicultural Council for their generous contributions and support of the Jane Green program. Thank you as well to the Ontario Trillium Foundation for their support of the HCC. It is to their generous support that the Halton Climate Collective is able to continue their work in the community and focus on collectively transforming the community of Halton into a low-carbon, climate-resilient community. A big thank you to all the public health and safety officials for their work on mitigating and minimizing the COVID-19 pandemic in our communities.
Thank you once again to all of the volunteers and youth stakeholders who made this event possible. It is thanks to your efforts that all youth will leave the event feeling inspired, empowered, and equipped to make an impact in their communities. Your contribution to the community is greatly appreciated. And most importantly, we want to thank all of you for your commitment to climate action in your communities. All of you are so deserving of those prizes, and all of you have done such amazing work so far in making our community more sustainable and progressive.
Because that's exactly what this is, progress. Every single one of you is a member of this community and pioneering in building a world where it isn't okay to stand by in the face of injustice when you can do something about it. This climate crisis isn't going to be solved by a few people doing 1,000 perfect things, but by thousands doing a few good things. So please, whatever you take away from this, don't stop doing those good things. Don't stop being youth climate activists. Don't stop being a community we know and need you to be. Don't stop being the generation who said enough was enough. Don't stop being the generation who didn't just call for action, but made it happen. Don't stop being Generation Green.